Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Florence. Happy birthday to you. Okay, blow it out. Yay! Good. It's gonna be Corinne's birthday in a few days, and we're having a party.
Yeah.
And mommy bought some decorations, so we're gonna unbox these decorations,
Yeah.
see what we got.
They're in the box.
And then and then we're gonna start decorating the area. So we have to decorate that wall over there and make it all nice and cute. So
You have to
let's
make
get started.
all the walls cute.
We have to make what?
You have to make all the walls cute.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Make all the walls cute. So
Like pink and golden.
she won't stop. Okay, anything else we need to know?
Decorations?
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Say, let's get into the video.
Let's go into the video.
And then go like that. This is the
Box and
party pack that I bought. It's supposed to serve 50.
I said box.
I know, I heard you. Let's see what we got in here. So this
Wow.
pack comes with
The
see. 50 dinner plates. We got 50 dessert plates. We're gonna have napkins. I think it's 50 napkins. And then 50 cups. So that's box number 1, or package number 1. I'm gonna open it in a second. So this
Whoa.
party supply includes balloons, banner, or cake topper, cupcake topper, a happy birthday banner, mini garland, and more balloons. I don't know if we're gonna use the balloons, but
We're just gonna use the balloons then.
what was that that just went? These are the cupcake toppers. This is the banner, the happy birthday banner.
This?
It comes with string for the banner, I believe, and the balloons, and more garland. And these are the Mylar balloons. These are the latex balloons. And then we have a happy birthday cake topper. Ooh. And then the third thing I bought was this garland, which comes pre-assembled.
What the book?
And it's a dot.
Uh,
It's a dot garland. And so there's 4 pre-assembled garlands that come in this package. So with all these supplies, I think I spent less than, I want to say $60 or $70. I'll probably put the total in the screen. But yeah, this is just a simple way to decorate for a party without spending that much money, and everything's pre-packaged and pre-assembled, so you just open it and go. So let's get started. So the first project we are doing is the vase for the balloons. I'm actually using this vase from the Dollar Tree in order to house the anchor. I guess they're balloon anchors or whatever. I don't really like how normal balloons anchor look. I feel like they look tacky. So I'm using this vase and decorating it to match the colors of the party. And I'm just doing that by taping off the area that I don't want to get paint on. And I used a lot of tape because my tape was not straight the first time, so I do recommend making sure your tape is straight so you have an even line. And then I'm going to apply paint to the lower half of the vase. So I saw this tip on this channel called the Sorry Girls, where one of them used sand and mixed it with paint. So all I'm using is decorative sand that I had left over from a party, but you can use any color sand because the sand is actually going to just absorb the color of the paint that you use. So if you want to use brown sand, that's fine. The video that I watched from the Sorry Girls, she used just regular brown sand. So I'm trying to lighten up this color because the pink was a little too hot pink and I wanted it more like a blush or candy pink to match the decorations a little more. And when you apply this paint, you don't want to use a bristle brush or bristled paintbrush because you don't want to see the strokes. And using a sponge brush like this, especially a wide one, to apply the most amount of paint as possible is the best brush that I recommend. And I think in the video the girl was dabbing like this, but I found that just spreading the paint, I guess in a left to right motion and not a sponge or like dabbing motion was better, because it really goes on really thick anyway because the sand is thick. So I just basically stopped that method. I just used the dabbing just to get a lot of the paint off the brush, but you can't really see the brush strokes because it does have a grainy texture, so you're not going to see the sponge brush strokes, if that makes sense. And then once you have a even layer all the way around, you just want to let this dry for a few hours. I think I let it dry for 2 hours before I put it on the table, and it gives it like a chunky texture. And then this ribbon is what I was going to use once everything dries to line the pink area. So the next project is our napkin bow. I used a lunch napkin and I folded it in half. Well, I opened it up and then I folded it from the top down to make the ends meet, and then I folded that portion from left to right and make those ends meet. So once you do this, you pinch it in the middle like I'm doing right now and fluff out the round edges, and that'll kind of give you a bow look. Then I use these Dollar Tree napkins again, to the polka dot one to kind of contrast, and I ended up folding this about maybe a ½ an inch. So if you don't want to use a napkin, you can also use like a ½ inch ribbon or fold ½ inch strips and cut ½ inch strips of ribbon and place that in the center. So with this being in the center, it keeps the shape of the bow, and you're going to want to apply hot glue on the ends of the ribbon or napkin that you use in the center, and then wrap it around like this. And then your bow is done. So I was using this on all of the candy treat cups that I was making, and this was just a test run right here because I wanted to make sure I knew how much candy to put into the cups. So I just used some gumballs, I think this was, and put them inside the cup that I got from the Dollar Tree, and then glued that bow to the twisted or closed candy cup, if that makes sense. So there you go. Okay, so now we're back inside and I'm going to hang the happy birthday banner above the dining table. And the cool thing about this banner, when I bought it, I didn't think I knew that it was pre-assembled, or maybe it did say that on the package, but even when I opened it, it didn't look pre-assembled. But these the banners that I bought, which will be linked down below, it was pre-assembled, and the string was really long, so if you want to space out your letters, I think it was up to like 18 feet, so obviously I didn't need that much string. I just was tying the ends how I wanted them, and then I ended up cutting off the excess string so I can reuse this banner later, because if I do have another birthday with this theme, it's probably going to be in the same area. So once you have your banner up, you just want to make sure that it is centered. And then next, you're going to want to put your tablecloth down. I actually could not find a table cover that matched. Hey guys, that matched. That was my dog. I couldn't find a tablecloth that matched my pink that I wanted. So what I actually did was place this hot pink tablecloth down, and then I placed the white tablecloth on top of it. And what this does is it actually lightens the color that's underneath. So it's almost like how I did with the vase. I mixed the white paint with the pink to make it lighter. The one thing you don't want to do, which I did do and it was an accident, was I bought round tablecloths for a square table. So don't do that. But if you are going to want a lighter color, just keep in mind that you can always, especially with the Dollar Tree table covers, you can always use a Dollar Tree table cover on top because it's very thin, and so the white will kind of act like a mixing component and mix with the color underneath to lighten it up. So if you guys, hopefully you guys can see that in this portion. And then once I was done with that, I moved on to hanging the other banner and making kind of a photo backdrop. So now we're on to our final step, which is hanging the backdrop that I was going to use for kind of like a picture area. So I'm hanging the themed Minnie Mouse banner that came in the party pack listed below. And I think this was the same length as the happy birthday banner. I'm not sure, but as you can see, I was having some difficulty hanging it because I didn't have the wall hooks on the wall. So I actually used duct tape. So you can use duct tape or painter's tape and kind of fold it and place it on the back, kind of like double-sided tape, or if you have glue dots or something like that, and then just tape that to the wall, still keeping the string because it is pre-assembled, so that way it keeps the spacing. And then I just tied the strings at the end so then the pieces wouldn't fall off, and then I ended up cutting the excess. So next I used the garland that I purchased, which came with 4 individual strands that were 18 feet each. So I cut those 4 18-inch strands into 8 9-feet strands. And I started on the ends of the garland that I already had set up, and I just did the double-sided tape methods. Like I said before, you can use duct tape or a strong glue dot, anything like that. And I just cut the strands in half and then hung the start of the strand behind one of the pieces from the garland. And so I feel like that really like filled in the backdrop a little more, because when I initially put the backdrop up, I thought, oh, I just need 4 strands. That'll look nice to space them out like maybe a foot each. But once I got to the end and I hung up the 4 strands, it really was not looking very well. So I ended up filling it in, and as you can see here, it's like it looks too spaced out. So then I added the other 4 strands, which I wanted to save them, but oh well. And at this point my camera battery died, so I was only able to get final pictures of the 2 garlands that I put up. And then this is the final picture of the 2 DIY projects that I did. So if you guys like this video, let me know down below, and I will see you next time. Stay crafty.